Excellent. Did you enjoy the first section, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Good. I should perhaps point out at the beginning, just so all the alcoholics know where they are, there'll be another 5 acts now, and then a short interval, and then another 4. Even you, sir, you're going to be quiet for... Okay, that's good, that's good. Now, the reason I asked if you enjoyed the first section, I knew you would, but me and the promoter were chatting downstairs about a night we were both at a club in Richmond a couple of years ago. And on this particular night, we had just a normal night, not a competition night. We had an absolutely brilliant night. Everybody had done really well. And at the end of the night, I was collecting up the mic, calling up the cable. And this couple, I'm guessing they were a couple, it was a man and a woman, so keen to talk to me, they very rudely pushed past these couple of regulars I was talking to. And the bloke puts his hand out and says, "Just wanted to say thanks, mate. It was a great night of comedy." I said, "Oh, thanks very much." He said, "Yeah, because the thing is, I thought it was going to be shit." I said, "Oh, well, glad to have disappointed you, mate." Right? Now, his partner, his wife, whatever, not to be outdone, she bellows at the top of her voice. There's still about 20 or 30 people sitting around drinking up. She said, "Yeah, remember, I thought it was going to be really shit." I said, "Well, doubly glad to have disappointed you, madam," right? Off they went. I never saw them again. But as I started calling up the cable, I started to think, so hang on, what kind of conversation did that couple have before they left the house? The kids are at your mum's. We can go anywhere in the world we want. What about the new Bond film at the multiplex? Sweetheart, you are forgetting. We are both big James Bond fans. Fair point there. What about that trattoria in Fulham where I proposed, sweetheart, it has become our favourite restaurant. Damn, you're absolutely right, Papa. Why don't you go around the corner to the Laughing Horse Comedy Club, and with any luck, it'll be really fucking shit. Who leaves the fucking house like that, for Christ's sake? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the first of this section's 5 acts. A big hand for Kai Humphries.
Alright, fuckers. How's it going? I'll get this out of the way. I'm Geordie. And I didn't realise how much that said about my character until recently I've started doing gigs outside of Newcastle. And found out people have got a lot of preconceived judgments about Geordies. Not only is that bad, but lovers or haters, your thoughts of Geordies are heavily influenced by the stereotype that we're a little bit thick. Is it fair to say that people think Geordies are a little bit stupid? Yeah. But you know how that makes me feel? Sometimes that causes the ventromedial prefrontal cortex of my brain to suppress the release of endorphins, making me feel quite sad. And sometimes it causes the adrenal gland to secrete a hormone called epinephrine, which boosts the supply of oxygen and glucose to my brain, making me feel quite anxious. And I don't think any of you have paid £10 to come up and watch a sad, anxious comedian, especially the new Act of the Year award. And like it says on the tin, I am a new act. And in the short 6 months that I've been doing stand-up, I've been overwhelmed by how supportive my mum's been. But she's supportive in her own little pessimistic way. Like just today when I left, I come straight from her house and she said, "Good luck in London tonight, Kai, but if it doesn't go your way, remember, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger." And I said, "Thanks, Mum, but you know, I think that's a bit ironic coming from someone with brittle bone disease." And then she hit us with, "Break a leg." Mum, you're killing us with the irony. It's alright, no, despite her fragile skeleton, she's got thick skin. She's not really ill. She's not really ill. I just made it up for the fabric of the joke. And I'm not really a bastard of a son. I mean, just the other day, I got her flowers just out of the blue, really, just for no other reason than that I love her. I had a moment actually, because I was driving along and I saw a few of her favourites. I saw some daffodils and roses and lilies. So in this moment of inspiration, I pulled over my car. I took them down off the lamppost. She loves them, a few laughs, a few cringes, but please don't cringe. There's a credit crunch going on. We've got to deal with it in our own way, but I think we're wrapped up in our own little world with a credit crunch. I'll tell you who's feeling the credit crunch worse than us right now. Narnia. Narnia are feeling the pinch real bad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me deep political shit, so strap yourselves in. Narnia are struggling with the essential maintenance and upkeep of an entire wardrobe. So they've had to downsize to a drawer. But not just any drawer. You know the drawer under your kitchen sink? The one that isn't actually a drawer, it's just an aesthetic panel that looks like a drawer. It's got a handle and everything. You wouldn't dream of trying to open it. It's physically impossible. There's a sink there. So what is it about when you've got guests? It's the first drawer they go to when they're looking for cutlery. And it confuses the shit out of them. do you expect this drawer to open? It's this fact of life and the influence of smoking a little bit too much weed that made me come up with the theory that one day your unexpected house guest is going to open this drawer, or it will open, and it's going to suck them head first into a cheap, shit, run-down version of Narnia, where Aslan the lion isn't the lion at all, it's just a whippet called Steve. Steve doesn't even talk, he just sits there licking his balls. The Pegasus, the flying horse of Narnia, pledge for you readers. It's not a flying horse at all, it's just a pit pony with a can of Red Bull. There isn't even snow in Credit Crunch Narnia, there's just a little bit drizzling a sideways wind. What's his face? Prince Caspian, he's just a chap with an Asbo, he's a right glue sniffer. Like I said, I was a little bit high when I came up with that. But I wasn't alone at the time. I mean, I wasn't bothered who was listening. I was telling this story to the stars, right? But my brother was in the room at the time, and he'd stayed remarkably quiet up until this point, when he thought he'd chip in with what he thought was a valid contribution. He looked up from the bong, and this is what he said. Aye, and the Tin Man could be made of aluminium. What the fuck kind of bullshit contribution is that in my Credit Crunch Narnia theory? What the fuck is the Tin Man doing in Narnia? If I saw the Tin Man in Narnia, I'd say, mate, are you lost? What you want to do, you want to go up that drawer, hang a left. You want to keep going till you get to Kansas City, then take a whirlwind tornado to Munchkin Country. One will come every 20 minutes, it'll probably pick you up from your house. When you land on a ridge, forget about here, just follow the yellow brick road. Whatever you do, don't stop and ask the scarecrow for directions, he's a bit thick. He's got no brain, he'll probably end up in Middle Earth. Fuck him. Follow the yellow brick road, can't miss it, big green palace, that's the Emerald City. And if you go in and ask nicely, the lovely wizard might give you a new fucking tom-tom. That's what I'd say if I saw the Tin Man in Narnia. But he's always spoiling my theories, it's not fair. Because I bet when Charles Darwin came up with a theory of evolution, I bet you he didn't have a stoner brother chipping in with fictional characters. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine that day, that fateful day when he's at his desk in his study putting the final piece in the puzzle that is evolution? And he has the breakthrough, and he's like, that's it! Adaptations must occur over the course of generations through random successive changes in genetic traits with a natural selection of these variants to best suit the environment, which means we could once evolve from an ape-like mammal. Not realising his brother's in the corner hanging out with a bong. That's canny deep, that mean, Charlie. But this is what I think of evolution. I think we started as monkeys, and then we were hobbits, then Wookiees, and now we're humans, and next we're gonna be Thundercats. Ah, can't wait. Do you want some Pringles? I bet you that didn't happen because I bet Darwin's brother wasn't a dick. Fucking idiot, my brother, I swear to God. He's not special needs, he doesn't chew crayons, but he is an idiot. You know when they're not talking about legalising cannabis, they all knew it was lipstick, it's called the morale of the working class. But he believes it. He's a gullible bastard. The last time I spoke to someone that gullible, I told them I'd tap them on the head before I was going to come.